Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and today I want to show you an easy technique for carrying yarn behind your work. I will show you how to do this with just regular stitches such as half double crochet, but also how you can do this using post stitches. Okay, this is the front side facing of a new project that has been released on my channel, and let me show you the back. You don't see any yarn being carried along the back, even though I am switching out yarn color. So let me go ahead and show you how I am able to do this. I'm going to start by showing you with the back side of the work facing so that you can see what's going on with the yarn, and then I will show you how this is worked with the front side of the yarn of the project facing. Okay, so here is the white color, which I have just switched out to the main color, which is yellow. Now my instructions are to work 4 half double crochets in these stitches. So I'm going to do this, and the next stitch starts here by working with this yarn in front of my work, and this will just save me so many hours of hiding loose strands. Okay, so I'm just going to crochet on top of this stitch, and since these two colors are not really high contrasting colors, they blend in very well. Now obviously if you were using a very dark color, this might show through, bleed through just a little bit, but anyway, so this is what you can do with similar colors. Okay, so now I have crocheted 3 half doubles, and it's time for me to change out to the white. I'm going to put the yarn in front, since again this is the back side of the work, and then I finish the stitch with the white color. Okay, so now I'm going to work 7 back post double crochets, and the way I do this is I bring the hook around, and as the hook goes around the body of the stitch, I make sure that this strand is in front of that stitch. Okay, so we go around to the front. Now I'm going to get my working yarn and pull it through, and then I complete that back post double crochet as I normally would. I'm going to do this all the way across so that you can see each of these stitches. And the next stitch, make sure I put the yarn in front, but notice I'm not working with this yarn, I'm just hiding it in front of the hook, and then I bring along the white yarn that I'm using and I complete the stitch. I'll do this a couple times for you. Put the contrasting color in front of the hook, but notice again I'm not using that yarn, I am just simply carrying the yarn, and you see it wrapped around in the back. Put it in front, bring the hook around. With all the various designs out there that incorporate post stitches, this is just a good way to hide them inside your work and to make them more apart instead of having to hide a bunch of loose ends. And the next stitch, let's try that one again since there we go. And put it in front of the hook, and then I come around. Now for the last stitch of the series, put that in front. There we go. Bring the yarn around, and we complete. Now before we complete this, we do need to switch back. So I almost completed it, and if I had, it's not a big deal. We can just back out the last half of the stitch, and we return to our yellow. And again, we're going to work those half double crochets by working over the white strand just like this, and you can even hold this down a little bit towards the back as you crochet that in. So that's how you would work this with the back side facing. I'm going to finish out the row, and then I'll show you what this looks like with the front side of the work facing. Now with the front side of our work facing, I have 1 more half double crochet, and I'm working over the contrasting white color, and it's time for me to switch back. So I'm going to use the white color to complete that half double crochet, and you can see it is very well hidden within the work. It does not stand out whatsoever. Okay, so now we are going to work front post double crochets over these next 7 stitches, and I'm going to work in the yellow behind. Now if I didn't do that, what would happen is this yarn would be carried and you'd have what we call a float. In crafting, knitting, and in crocheting, you can have floats behind. So to avoid having these floats, especially since this is going to be a nice baby blanket to bless a small baby, you don't want them to be getting all tangled in yarn floats. So what we're going to do is, just like we did with the back post double crochets, we're going to work our hook around the stitch. But as we do, make sure that yellow falls in front of the stitch. And now with the yarn, with the white yarn, we're going to crochet that front post double crochet. And again, putting that in front. Now notice as I pulled that, it's going to make it somewhat taut. You don't want it to be too tight. It should be, you know, a nice tension. Shouldn't be too tight, but if you see it peeking through like this, you can just pull on it just a tad, and that will keep it from showing. Again, make sure it's in front of the hook as the hook wraps around the stitch, but we're not crocheting with that. See how much better, how much easier this is going to be? Well, let's go ahead and put that in front of the hook. There we go. This will save literally hours of hiding loose strands with this particular project. And if you have multiple colors, it can save you so much time and aggravation, and I think will make a better project, since you're not going to have, you know, a lot of these loose strands poking out through your work, especially as your project gets wear and tear. Okay, so that was the last of those. So I have one more step in order to complete this stitch, and I'm going to switch back to the main color, which is yellow. Now when I have the front side of my work facing, I'm going to have the yarn strands that I'm not using towards the back. When the back side of my work is facing, I'm going to have the yarn strands in front of me. Okay, so now I've switched, and now I'm going to go back to working the half double crochets worked into the top loops, and I just work them with the white on top where it really will not be seen very much at all. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that demonstration. If you did, please let me know. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and you can check out the project called the Baby Feet Baby Blanket. God bless. Bye-bye.